Welcome to the Climb Your Everest podcast, a platform where we delve into the incredible stories of women who have triumphed over their personal challenges and are making a profound impact on the world. I'm your host, Sara Safari, and I'm honored to be the founder of Climb Your Everest, a nonprofit organization passionately committed to offering education and empowerment opportunities to marginalized women, enabling them to unleash their true potential. Joining me as a co-host on this exciting journey is Avi. Together, we are on a mission to bring you inspiring narratives that will uplift your spirit, ignite your passion, and motivate you to climb your own Everest.
Okay, so in the last episode, you shared stories about these girls that you met 10 years ago. They're all grown up now. They got their education. They're a big part of the inspiration for Climb Your Everest, and you're seeing the fruit of your labor. They're going back in the community. They've broken the cycle of poverty. Now, I want to hear about, maybe a moment that during your very first time visiting Nepal and these girls, was there a moment? Did you meet someone? Do you have a story that inspired you?
Okay, the first time that I was in Nepal, first of all, Nepal is such a beautiful, gorgeous country with amazing mountains and nature. So I encourage everybody to come join me in one of these trips that I go twice a year. That's number one. But it had such a beautiful culture, kind and peaceful people, and I can talk hours about the beautiful culture, the beautiful country that they have, and of course the women, the girls that I work with, I love them so much, and I can't wait to introduce them to all my friends and family. So Avi, you're next on the list and you have to come. But the first, one of the very first girls that I met in Nepal, again to protect her identity and her privacy, I'm just gonna call her Shima. She was not talking at all, and she was quiet, and I kept talking to her. I took pictures of my childhood in Iran, my pictures of my life in US, pictures of my sisters and my parents and my students at university, because I wanted to kind of introduce myself to the girls. That was like a person they've never met before, so I thought pictures would be the best way. And so I took a lot of pictures, like a big album to show to them, and I kind of went through the album and I told them, this is it. And this little girl, she was like 5-6 years old, and she was so quiet, and she wouldn't even respond, she wouldn't even smile. Everybody else is kind of responding to me, but not her. And I went and I asked some people, like, what's happening, what's wrong? And they told me she's the new addition to the organization, because this is my first time in Nepal. So it's kind of I didn't know any of the girls. If it's my first time meeting everyone, and they said they just found her in a village, standing in a monastery by herself for the past like 3 days alone, and nobody even comes to take her home. She hasn't been eating, or even maybe some neighbors will give her some sort of a snack. That's how she survived. And they just left her in the street. I mean, not even a street, it's basically in a village, there's no streets, it's just kind of a walkway who goes from one house to the other house. So she was kind of standing there, and then one of the people from the organization picked her up and brought her to Kathmandu, capital of Nepal, and kind of adopted her to be part of the family, because she doesn't have a family. And that event that her family kind of left her in the street traumatized her so much that she wasn't talking. And she was this little gorgeous, beautiful kid like 5, 6 years old. That's what we guessed. And she was quiet. She didn't want to talk. And that later we figured this is the story because other people told us and people in that neighborhood told us. And then after you provided a scholarship for this girl, and after 2 years she started talking. And the first thing
after 2 years she started talking.
And then the first thing she said was no, because I guess she had to say no, and she started just saying a lot of no. So whatever, like, do you want to do this together? No. Do you want to? No, because I guess that was necessary for her to be able to say. And then eventually she started saying other words and talking, and now she speaks amazing fluent English, even better than me. And she's just amazing. She's continuing her education. She's like a very strong, opinionated woman. I mean, she's like, I think right now she was like 5 or 6, so now it's like 15 years old. And just kind of saw what happened to her made me even more motivated to do the work that I'm doing. And not just her, like so many other girls. And it was such a big deal for me to be able to do that for her, and kind of be her older sister, her bigger sister, and create that safe environment for her that she can share the things. Because later on, when she started talking, she shared with us. But unfortunately, her mom came to pick her up again because she thought she can make some money out of the organization. And then anyways, it was kind of dramatic. And then the mom couldn't make any money out of the organization. So the mom came back and dropped her off again for the second time. But now
in the same year, or like how old was she?
No, like a year after. I think the second time around she was like 10. The mom came pick her up. She's like, no, this is my daughter. And we were like, okay, your daughter. And then
that's so traumatic. That must be so traumatic for a kid that age. I mean, I can't imagine. They also sell them, and they do human trafficking, and they do all these things. But gosh.
Yeah, I know. And it's kind of hearing these stories, and there are like so many stories similar to this that makes me even be more, I guess, motivated to do this work.
I mean, it makes sense. Now that you share that, you've been back how many times? 11 times?
Mm-hmm.
And you could have just stayed in the US and helped out from far, right? You could have helped through Empower Nepali Girls, donated, whatever that is. So I guess why you keep going back, and I think I know the answer after 9 episodes of sitting through this with you, but what's the motivation there that you go back? Is there anything you can share?
There's more than one thing, but number one is that I see my little self in their eyes. Like every time they look at me, I see little Sara. Like I see everything that I wanted to be provided to me as a kid or as a young girl, as a young woman. I want to be able to provide that for them. So it is very personal. And I see my little sisters, and I see my friends and my mom and my aunt in all these women. And I want to kind of give them everything that I feel like I wish we had opportunities to access. So it's very personal. But at the same time, I think of these beautiful memories that I have with every single one of these girls. I remember the first time I went to Nepal, like the very first school that I visited. They made this line in front of the school, and they all had these little flowers in their hands that obviously they picked like 5 minutes ago from somewhere. And they were like holding it. And some of them, they had katas. Kata is a piece of fabric that is blessed by the Lama. And so they provide it to bless someone, to welcome someone, to thank someone. It's kind of when we climb mountains, we receive a lot of katas. So they all had katas in their hands, and the little ones, they had a flower in their hand. And when I walked in, this is my first time, the first thing that I see, the first school, there was a big line, and I started walking, and all of them started giving me flowers and katas and putting it around my neck, and telling me namaste, namaste, which means I see the light in you. And then the response is namaste, which is I see the light in you as well. And kind of that was such a spiritual experience for me. And every time I go to Nepal, this is the first memory. I land in Kathmandu and I'm leaving the airport, and that's what I see. I remember like the first time that I met these little girls, and they gave me flowers and katas, and they told me namaste, and that they see the light in me. And kind of they were like, at the beginning, I guess the first 10 minutes, we were all very polite and shy. And very soon we started singing and dancing, and kind of I taught them how to dance with Iranian songs, and they taught me how to dance with Bollywood songs, and they taught me a lot of Bollywood, Indian, Nepali songs, and we started singing. They wrote it for me, I memorized, and I've even shared them in my YouTube channel and Climb Your Everest YouTube channel. So anybody who wants to see those beautiful videos, you're more than welcome. And it was just this overwhelming feeling of gratitude and responsibility to these children's lives, and how through the foundation I can help them and support them. So it was very personal because of my own childhood, because of seeing women around me being deprived of their rights and never achieving their full potential, and the discrimination that I experienced all my life. Like I always felt like I just have to be able to do certain things, not everything, just because I'm a girl, just because I'm a woman. And plus kind of all the beautiful experiences that I had with these women and with these girls, and see how strong and powerful and smart and intelligent they are, and how they deserve the same opportunities, and kind of being able to provide that for them. So to answer your question, it was both like the experiences that I had and the personal experiences that move and inspire me to go back to Nepal 11 times. And every time I want to go, everybody around me, because I think it's such a life-changing experience, and it makes a huge difference in their lives.
It just hearing you makes me want to go now. Like I can't wait to go and meet these girls and these women, and just immersed in the culture. And I've met some of them through the workshops, and having going through those sessions with you. And I do want to share one particular essay that one of them wrote that I read, which was moving for me. And talking about giving them the same opportunities and making sure that they're seen and they matter. And this particular girl wrote about how women matter, and they're not just baby making machines, and how they haven't spent, they're humans, and they need to be looked as humans. And it's very it's profound to think that there are in certain countries, in certain cultures, women aren't looked at as a whole individual, and literally they're just like an object to be used rather than a human to be treated. And this organization, Climb Your Everest, or Empower Nepali Girls, you're bringing these girls under your umbrella and really empowering them and showing them that they do matter, and they're whole individuals on their own, and that they are equal. I received a video from some of them, and again, your work isn't just for Nepal. So I've met a couple of other groups from different parts of the world that you worked with for, I think it was March, for Women's International Day.
Yeah.
They sent us a video, of women matter, and it was so powerful, and I watched it and I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. So I can't wait to meet them.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to take you at next time whenever you're available. I go twice a year, so you can always join me. And whoever is listening to us, if you'd like to get more information about these trips, please send me an email at sara@climbyoureverest.org. And I think the next episode is Q&A.
Yes, we are doing a Q&A with Sara. So if you have any questions, post them.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. At Climb Your Everest, our mission is to provide access to education and resources to marginalized women so that they can gain the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in their lives and communities. But we can't do it without your help. 100% of your donation is tax deductible and will go directly towards funding our programs, including scholarships, educational material, and mentorship. So please visit our website, climbyoureverest.org, and make a donation today. Every little bit helps. It costs $25 to sponsor one girl to participate in empowerment workshops for a month. If you are interested, please contact me at sara@climbyoureverest.org. And together, we can empower marginalized women to climb their own personal Everest. Thank you for your support.